What's up YouTube, Donovan the smartphone guy here to do a video review of this activity tracker heart rate monitor from Aulker. So that's Aulker. You can pick this up on Amazon for $33 and I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description for if you're interested in purchasing this. So this is essentially just a Fitbit alternative. So this would be for somebody who's looking for a great activity tracker, but don't want to spend the kind of money that you have to pay for something like a Fitbit or a Garmin Vivo Active HR. So this is an alternative to that. So again, this is a $33 option from Aulker. I'm going to show you what it can do, what it can't do, some things that it does well, and we'll kind of take a look at the software and any of the bugs that are involved in the software. So there are some like minor tweaks or minor issues, I think, that are in the software that I'll talk about in this review. But for the most part, I would say if they could fix these 2 or 3 software issues, this would really be a fantastic option. So first thing I want to do is, okay, so the box it comes in, you can see the specs. So one thing I will mention right away is where's it at? If I can find it, you probably can't even see it anyways. So this thing has the world's tiniest battery ever. Not really. It's only a 60 milliamp hour battery, but this is going on 4 days of not charging it. You can see that I'm still at about 20 to 30% battery life. So I'm guessing that they claim 5 to 7 days. I'm thinking it's definitely going to make it to that 5 to 7 days easily because I'm on 4 full days and I still have about 20 to 30% battery. So yeah, definitely going to make it through at least 5 days, maybe even 6. So this is the actual device. You can see it's kind of a polycarbonate, I believe here. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it is a nice band. Definitely has a nice click to it. You can see how that fits in there and feels very nice on the wrist, very lightweight. And I will show you real quick how you charge it. So this little guy here pops out. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide that out. You can see there's the optical heart rate sensor there. So this thing, you just push it out through here and you pull it out and it plugs into a flash drive on your computer. So it charges very quick because again, it's only a 60 milliamp hour battery and it will last you forever. You can probably get a full charge in about an hour and it's going to last you 6 days. So this thing will not be on the charger very often, which is fantastic. I feel like for something like this, it needs to have that kind of battery life. And this one does. So that's great. So battery life is fantastic. So let's talk about the actual software, what this watch can do. So you can see here, it's going to show me my time. We have battery life. It shows that it's connected to Bluetooth to my phone, and it shows the date on that screen. And then we have our heart rate. So right now it is going to actively look for my heart rate. I don't quite have it tight, but we'll see what it does here. Okay, so that's probably about right. Because while I'm doing a video, my heart rate's a little elevated. My normal heart rate's about 60. So it's going to show our steps. It's going to show the distance traveled. And you can see that right now it's in metric. So that is actually a frustration of mine because I have it set on the software to imperial units, which of course is miles and feet. But on here, it's showing it in kilometers, even though on my on the phone, when I look at it, it will show it. So let's go into that real quick. So see here, it's showing it in miles here, but you come to the watch and it's showing it in imperial units. So that's something that they need to fix. So that's one thing. That's one software bug I think needs to be fixed. So the calories are accurate. So you can see that they're accurate to what the phone says. And that is calories burned during activity. That is not just overall calories burned through the day. That's just activity calories burned. And then there's the music option. So you can see here that it's right now at the moment it's showing there's an unknown song. I don't think I actually had any music playing. Let's see if that will work right now. So I don't think I had any music playing on my phone, but there are options for controlling music. I will show you that. We'll show that in just a moment. We're going to get to that later. And so then if I long press, so that's all the options there. If I long press, I can get some other options. So this is starting an activity. What it does during that activity is it will actively track the calories in your heart rate during that time. So you only have a short window on that one, so you kind of have to keep it moving. This will track your sleep. This is to turn on the gestures for flicking your wrist to turn it on and off. So you can see there that, so we'll let it shut off here. I just flicked my wrist again, darn it. Okay, so now it's off and back on. Okay, so another way to turn it on is just by swiping from left to right. That's another way that it will also turn on. We can also turn this vertical, so I can go ahead and show you what that looks like. So if you want it so that it displays it vertically, you can do that as well. If I can, I guess I need to actually turn it on first. Okay, then long press to get to some of these options. And to get it to do that vertical, that's this one right here. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick just so you can see. All right, so now it's going to be a vertical display. And this is just to track heart rate. You can just change it so it continuously does it, and that's to shut it off, obviously. So those are the options you have within that menu. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the software on the phone. So you can see here that it's showing me kind of like my daily activity. So you can see that I'm obviously a little over my step count. Now it's going to show it to a graph. It will also show you your sleep, of course, and it'll show you deep sleep, shallow sleep, waking sleep. And so far that seems fairly accurate. I can't get a good read on it. Again, this is my 4th day of usage. So far it seems fairly accurate though. And then a heart rate. Now notice that right now it's showing that I didn't do any activity, basically no fat burning, no cardio exercise, and no peak exercise. I literally just got back from a 5-mile run, and it's not showing that. And the reason for that is because I never went in and actually told it to actively check my heart rate. And so I would have had to come here and hit that play button, and then it will actively track for this. So if you want it to track for these things here, it will have to be turned on in that little activity tracker option. So that's just something to keep in mind. So those are the 3 options in the main screen. So under the manage button, in the details, it'll just give you some graphs. So today you can see that obviously the first 2 days of the week I was pretty lazy, and then today I went for a 5-mile run, so I got up to those 10,000 steps. And you can see, the average calories burned, things like that. We can come down here to the average steps and weekly steps and things like that. This device option, this is where basically all of your options are that you want to change. So you can get a call alert, which works really well. Sedentary alert. So I work at an office. I'm sitting at a desk all day. That is really nice because you can change that. I set it to half hour, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, so every 30 minutes, and it will vibrate and say, hey, lazy butt, get your butt up and move. So that's kind of nice, especially for me sitting in an office all day. So we have an alarm alert, so we can change different alarms. So I have it set to go off at 4:04 in the afternoon. I'm not exactly sure why. I think that's because I get out of work at 4. And SNS Alert will allow you to turn on certain apps for notifications. So I have Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, which I don't even use, Facebook Messenger. Those are the ones that I have turned on, but you can see the options that you have available. That does actually work really well. So for instance, I don't know if I get one during this, which I probably will at some point, I'll show you. Typically I usually get at least a few of those throughout an evening. So that is the SNS alert. You can control your camera from the watch. I'm not going to show you that, but that does work really well. The wrist sense is just a matter of like turning this off and on where it will find that. Anti-loss alert is for, in case you lose this. Find phone, what it does is it will, if you're within Bluetooth distance, it will turn your phone on and make sure that you get that. So SMS alert, actually I can send myself I'll send myself a text real quick. So go into Hangouts, and I'll just show you that, it works. So let me go off to the side here so you don't see all of my stuff. And I will send myself a text from my Google Voice number. So, hey dog. All right, so I just sent it to myself. We'll see if that works. There it is. All right, so my Google Voice, you can see there, and then I can swipe down here and it will say, hey dog. So you can see it doesn't display it particularly well, but it does display those. All right. So going back into the app, so that's the SMS alert. We have a do not disturb option. Again, the music controls. So we can go in and control what apps we want it to be able to control. So I only really use Google Play Music for music. And so I have it set to control that. But it will control any app that has a play, pause, essential button. Basically, it will control that. So that's kind of cool. We have a display mode that'll basically just change it to vertical and landscape like I already showed you, which you can also do on the watch like I showed you earlier. We have some heart rate zones. So earlier I showed you some of the heart rate zones. We can customize that. So it has its own set custom where it has peak exercise, fat burning, and cardio. You can customize that to you if you want. Then the heart rate detection, that's just saying whether you want it automatic or manual. And then after that, we just have the equipment upgrade. So it's already set up. So then let's see here, system setting. This is the part that I want to show you. So you can see here that I have it set to Imperial. So the one thing that really kind of bugs me about this watch, there's two things. Okay, so one, I have it set to Imperial, and yet it's still showing it to me in kilometers. Okay, on the phone, it's showing it to me in miles. On here, it's showing it to me in kilometers. So that's one thing. The second thing is, let's get out of there. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Go back. All right, so we're gonna have to start the app again. So that's one thing that maybe bugs me. And then the other thing is I can't find anywhere. I don't know if you saw anywhere in the app. So I pretty much went through every setting that there is available, and nowhere on there do I see an option to change that to 12 hours and to turn that into the way I read, which is December 6th. So it's backwards for me. That's just not how I read the date. That's how it's stuck. I can't figure out how to change that. So that's a very detailed look at how this watch works. I definitely say if they can fix those two little things, changing to the Imperial units, like basically make it more US friendly, I would say it would be easily a 5 out of 5 because everything functions very well. But as for now, I'll say it's a 4 out of 5 because of those couple little quirks. If they can fix that in the software, it's definitely 2 thumbs up. Otherwise, I give it a 4.5 and say if they need to fix those two things. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you. It's a long video to explain how this bad boy works. It is a very inexpensive option that works very well. $33 on Amazon. Pick it up right down here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.